Hello and welcome everyone to another video here on my channel. Today we have also something that goes face, and this time it's Gruul. Yeah, Gruul Modifier with Lukka and many new cards for the new set. I did play this before, I wanted to try it again, and it's really good against Monored. So if you're looking for something that's good against Monored, I think this is a deck you should try out, and I think with no further ado, let's just jump into the deck tech. So this is the deck we're going to play today. It is a pretty simple Gruul go face deck, and there are many new cards from the set. We have the Evolving Adaptive here, which is 1 mana 0/0. It grows bigger every time we play a creature with more power and toughness than the Adaptive Evolving here, which is quite nice. So this is a way to make it bigger, and it gets counters. Then we also have here the Bloated Contaminator, 3 mana for 4, which is already really good. Trample, Toxic 1, and whenever it deals damage to a player, we proliferate, so we can make the cards with token even bigger. We also have Migloz, Maze Crusher, 3 mana for 4, which is also a pretty good creature, right? 3 mana for 4. We can remove an oil counter because it comes in with 5 oil counters, and then it gets Vigilance and Menace, which is good. We can remove 2 oil counters for 2 mana, becomes +2/+2, and we can remove 3 and destroy an enchantment or artifact, which is really, really nice. And we also packed in a Lukka Bound to Ruin here. It's a 5 mana, 5 loyalty Planeswalker, or 4 mana, and 2 life, 3 loyalty Planeswalker. It is a really interesting card in this deck because mainly we want to use it for the damage and have some more consistency in the late game. +1 we can add a green and a red source, and we can use this only for creatures. -1 we create a 3/3 Phyrexia beast with Toxic 1, and -4 we deal X damage divided as we choose among any number of target creatures or Planeswalker, where X is the highest power we have. And as you can see, we have many ways to have big creatures here in this deck. Migloz can go really big. We have Beast Caller here that can go really big for 2 mana, 2/2. Whenever we cast, it gets a +1/+1. When it dies, we can remove this +1 and put it on other creatures. So there's a lot of ways to make our creatures bigger. We also have Halana and Elena here, which is a 4 mana 2/3 first strike reach. In the beginning of our combat, we put 2 X +1/+1 counters on another creature you control, where X is Halana and Elena's power. So this is really nice, and also gets haste, so this is really nice. We can also pump Halana here with the Raichu if we want to, which works. We also have Monored that makes Halana stronger. There's also ways to make this card stronger to have even more effect of this. But this is a really, really cool card, just goes really well with the theme in general. As you can see, we also have 4 Thundering Raichu here, 4 mana 3/3 haste. Whenever it attacks, we put +1/+1 counter on target creature we control, and then it deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of modified creatures you control, and modification is basically the +1/+1 counters, even the oil counters. As you can see, there's a lot of ways to deal the extra damage with Raichu. We play, of course, the 4 Kumanos here because it is one of the best cards you can play in red, and especially in aggressive decks. 1 mana enchantment, comes in 1 damage. Next turn, we get a +1/+1 on the creature we play, and then it transforms into Etching of Kumano, which is a haste 2/2 creature. And if creature deals damage this turn, source control would die, exile it. So, I mean, this card is so powerful. We also play 3 Feldon here. The 2 slot here is quite open. I think Feldon fits the best because it just attacks, right? And if it's a 3/3 from Kumano, it takes 3 damage to die, which is nice because when Feldon is dealt damage, we exile that many cards from the top, and we can choose one of them and play it until the end of next turn. So this is really nice, because if they get stronger, it's just more cards to choose from. The 2 slot is super flexible. Let me know what you would play here, but this is the one I go with. I also play 4 Shivan Devastator. It's a 1 red and X, flying haste, Dragon Hydra. Super flexible card here. Of course, it's a modified card because it comes in with X +1/+1 counter. Goes super well here, can be on different spots on curve depending what you need. Super nice, as you will see. I'm really a fan of this card in decks like this, and every time I play against it, it feels really strong. But yeah, we also play Kodama here. Kodama, actually. Kumano, Kodama. But yeah, this is a really good card in the deck with many modified creatures, a 3 mana 3/3 reach, and all modified creatures have trample. This is interesting against decks where there's a stall situation. And also, whenever a modified creature we control deal combat damage, we play, we search a library for a basic land and put it on the battlefield tab. So it helps us to thin our mana base here. So yeah, this is the main deck, and as you can see, we have many good 1-drops here that we want to have, and then we have a good 2-drop set. Like, it's about the curve, right? And we added Lukka here for the extra damage there, and maybe for the longevity of the deck. And yeah, we have the 2 rare lands, Bosechu and Sukenzan. We have 2 Jetmir Gardens. Pretty standard here. as a Gruul Modifier deck with Lukka here. I wanted to try it out. It feels pretty good, I think. It's fun. It's fun to play. I think it goes really well against Monored. I think we won all the Monored matchup, so you will see that because there's a lot of creatures, and if you want to race, it's not that easy, right? Because they block and they cannot attack you all the time, while you can just attack, for example, with this with Vigilance, which is really, really strong. Super cool deck, and let me know what you think. There will be more decks coming soon, and these decks are going to be really fun. I already planned them. So today, a bit more chill, a bit more gruely deck, but still super fun, and yeah, hopefully you like the games. Well, so we start. This is the hand I will keep here. It makes total sense. We have a 1-2. I mean, there's a curve going on, so we have to keep this. Mana-wise, you have to do it like this. Sure. The audio shortly. Okay, we play against Gruul, against the Monored here. It's a bit more tricky. But yeah, we try to get big creatures in. So that way we have better blocks. I mean, they have a lot of removal spell, but that is fine. We don't really have a good creature after this. But yeah, we have to go with this one here. Okay, we're gonna lose that one, which is okay. We couldn't grow that one more, so it's better this way actually. Do not block here. That's a okay draw actually. But it looks like we start to raise a little bit here. We go in for 5. Next turn we go in for 8. If we want to. Actually more, no, it's 6. The Goblin King is a bit of a problem here. It's definitely looking like a race now. So they have 13 life, we have 13 too. We attack for 5-7. It's probably the best actually to play the land here. And the land costs less, so we could play this tapped. And then play a bigger dragon next turn, so I think we go with this, right? No, we just attack. I mean, they could technically win here, but I mean, 13 damage is not that easy to achieve in one turn. Even with their setup on the board. They have 6 on the board, with the land would be 8, with a spell would be 11, so I don't think they would have enough. So, from that point of view, I think it's fine to attack with all. That is the worst cards they could play here. Okay, they don't go all in, because they are scared that we win. Okay, so, we win here, because we have the flyer, and they cannot block the flyer. The flyer already is 4 damage. Yeah, that should be it. I tried to click, but it's lagging for some reason. And let's go. This should seal the first game against Monored, which is quite nice. Exactly lethal. Exactly lethal. GG. Okay, play against Dukup. That is a keeper. Maybe a bit awkward, but we go 1, 2, 3. This has the strongest upside. Yeah, we're gonna lose that card. They have a cut down on hand. The Voltage Surge, okay. Been a while. Okay, so the question is, which one of these do we prefer? We prefer the Contaminator first. I mean, they have another Voltage Surge, but that's a 5-5. Not that easy to deal with. Okay, it looks like an annual type of deck. I mean, if they have Go for Throat, then not well played. Yeah, well, that works too, I guess. That works too. I'm gonna do it like this, and then we play the dragon next turn. So most damage we can provide here. So they had 2 removal spells already in their 7 card hand. See how many more they have. 1 point you should get out of them. Yeah, that's whatever. It's a good card, but looks like a cut down again. Voltage Surge or cut down. Didn't play anything. And now this is not usable mana, so we try to hit as hard as we can. They trade here, which is fine by me. We get another 2/2 next turn anyway. Okay. They go on 5. Going on 5 against a deck like ours is really risky. What could they find here? Even if they have Shieldred, they have 5 damage in the air. So that's not Shieldred. It cannot be Despair. It has to be some board wipe kind of thing. But then they take 2. Okay, it's a Voltage Surge for starters. A Liliana, okay, but that's still game for us here. And we win here, yeah. They didn't have enough, and we also drew a Raichu, which is pretty strong. Yeah, that was a good victory. Good victory. Star Alpha 1. Vampire. This is a keep again. Finger and we can hello as well. We can turn 2, we can play the dragon. Playing Monored. I wonder if they helloed me because they know I don't like Monored. And I saw my in-game name. That's quite funny. This matchup is, I think, not too bad for us because we have a good race here. Our creatures are way bigger, so it's not easy for them to deal with. They need a lightning strike to deal with the beast color, otherwise they cannot deal with that card anymore. So they lightning strikes my face. Okay, they go all in here. I respect it, I guess. But then we block. That is, I did not expect that, to be honest. They got another lightning strike. They took a land. Okay. Gonna play this. And now we start racing. So they're on 13. And we have 10 damage on board, which is a lot. Can I play a dragon that gets extra few damage? It's a Raichu. We have 10 on board. We win next turn if we don't block here. 8, play 2, 5, 11, 2. Yeah. We don't have to do anything. We go on 5. And then we play the dragon for 2. Right, it takes a while because it's working. And then we have exactly 13 damage. Yeah, that's why I think this, I mean, going face test is interesting, keeping Beast Caller alive, because Beast Caller is really strong and I cannot deal with it, so I would say we take it. Good win. Was such an interesting hand. Such an interesting hand. We have to start with Kumano here, and then play Beast Caller, and then the Adaptive. I mean, Adaptive is fine, but with this order, I think it's a bit better. If we play it this way, we can play around the cut down, which is nice. So let's see. It's a Rakdos list. They have Go for Throats usually there. It's a Chunt list. Plays Go for Throat, Abrade. Yeah, there's the Abrade. Sadly, nothing we can put it on. Okay, in this position, we have to go with maximize damage. The adaptive is a bit awkward here. We had a lot of cheap cards, but if we find a land, we can go adaptive land, goblins, do they have another removal? I mean, a double removal keep is always okay in best of one, so of course they have double removal. Okay, another dragon. Pay 1, 2, 2. I think we go wider here now. In case they have more removals this way. We have the most damage the next turn after this. But I mean, if they have 3 removals, then what do you want to do, right? That's just impressive. That's not a removal, that's okay. Okay, they probably play... We could go in... If we go in with all, we lose the 3/3. We do 8. We put them on 7. Okay, that's probably it. Put them on 5. Yeah, we just go in. Good old smoke here. Put them on 5 is pretty okay. With lethal in the air, they need another removal for our flyers. Okay, I mean, that does it, technically. So everything gets trampled. Which doesn't help. They would go. So we have to wait here again. I mean, we could win here by just letting them have the Archfiend of the draws if they don't have a solution for it. And they cannot attack with anything here. Why would they attack with this? That's really interesting. Double Archfiend. Okay, that's a top deck. Now, it's not that great, but I mean, they block 2, right? Which is these 2, and they go on 1. The Archfiends are a huge problem here. My biggest creature is a 4/4. So you can only do 4 damage. That's actually interesting. I mean, we have to play it, but let's see how we... Double Archfiend is huge. And every time we block with a creature, we lose so much life. Could get rid of this one. This is probably the best play now. They would go exactly on 1, which is not helping. We have to wait again. We have to block at least one of them. But I cannot double attack. They had a fight rigging, so now it's all about luck. They top deck that fight rigging, so let's hope it's not an Atraxa. Of course it's an Atraxa. Oh god, that's so unlucky. Jesus, that's really funny. It's so funny that I made a YouTube video about this deck just 4 days ago. And now I play against something similar. Ah. So now I can not do anything anymore because this is a 7/7 with lifelink. I mean, the only way for me to win is somehow make sure that the Archfiend kills them. Which is not easy. I have no way to deal with that Atraxa here. So I can do it like this, and this so much damage. 6. They get 7 life and I cannot do anything about it. This will put me on 3. I have absolutely no chance anymore. So either we have some crazy top deck to somehow get through this, but if they have a removal, they win too. That's not the top deck, and that's GG. Unlucky Atraxa from the rigging there. Holy moly. That's a close one. Toshi. Go Toshi. Opponent's starting hand is... I mean, we don't have a 1-drop, but we have a 2, 3, 4-drop. Okay. And they're mulligan, so we take it. It's still top deck a 1-drop here. We have 8 in the deck. In these type of decks, you want to have a good curve. Mono blue is not... we found a 1-drop. Mono blue is not what we would like to see. Let's see how long they can keep up with our creatures, though. They can counter this. They can also bounce here. But resolving 2 creatures is quite good, and the Beast Call is nice because it's on cast. So whenever we cast a creature, it gets stronger, which is super good. So even if they counter, this creature gets stronger now. Which we like. Okay, it's not what we expected it to be. Some Dimir poison list, which is... I'm not scared of that. 6 damage here. I mean, this is quite fast. They're on 10, so we already have lethal on board and we have 2 haste creatures in the hand, so that looks not good for opponent. And they play blue-black, so there's not really that much board vibe. There's only Path, and Path is not good enough here. Okay, they put it on back on our hand, but that's not good enough. They don't have a removal or something like this, then game. Try here with the Raichu first. Yeah, let's see. See what they do. Bouncing this one, that's not bad. They have 2 life. We have a haste and a Kumano on hand, so I don't think they can get out of this. They drawn 2 cards. I just don't see how they will ever get out of this situation. Drawing cards do not help. Does not help here. Okay, they get a life here, sure. But both creatures are lethal. Just the attack alone is lethal. Yeah. That's game. That was a really fast game. Take those. Again, une croissant. Croissant? Une croissant. Funny. This hand is too slow, I think. This is better. Now the question is, which one do we want to keep? Raichu or Halana here? Probably keep Halana. I mean, I still hope we find a 2-drop here, but let's see. They play Monored too. 2-drop here would be really nice. I mean, it's a 1-drop. I had worse. This is a 2/2 now. Usually they play creature here because they want to use the Kumano effect, and if not, okay, so they have a 1-drop plus the 2 damage here, which is still fine. But not block here. That's interesting. They gave us a chance to block though. Okay. A good draw. Gonna attack here. So this is a really tough spot. We have a way to actually remove this creature, since it's an enchantment, which is quite nice. Okay, it's a bird. Okay, now they told us that they don't have any other way, so I'm gonna get rid of this one. It's also not bad as a draw. Gonna put them on 9 here. And we have a good block. We on 11. That's fine. They have 1 mana up, which is okay. They attack with all here, it's gonna be bad for them. But they cannot do that because Migloz is lethal. Makes sense. We have to block here though. They can find a card here, but no 1 mana spell is good enough here. We also have a Lukka here that we could bring out. Yeah. So if we Lukka, we can get rid of 2, then they have 1 left. Which is still strong. You can also make a 3/3, which is a 5/5, attack with all, but that's a... Yeah, this is a tricky one. You cannot minus because of the loyalty. So I think this is my best play. They have to double block this. They don't. Okay, let me put them on 3. Then we're gonna do that. We can still destroy one of their creatures. It looks like a desperate all-in here, so we win. We definitely... it's interesting. We have 6 damage we can do next turn with Lukka. Divided amongst many. We can block that one, okay. So we know they have no other cards left. Pretty simple. It's gonna be like this, and we take 4, and that's it, right? Could even get rid of one of their cards there. But they cannot do anything about this. Okay, that one's gone. This is definitely a deck that works really well against Monored and GG again. We can try it. Turn 2, turn 3 is okay. Potential turn 4. Okay. White. U10. Played against U10 before. Name rings a bell. Can actually play Kodamar here. They let Beast Caller alive. Gives us an extra land, which is nice. Yeah, so we're gonna do that. ramping here. That's a really nice turn for us. Getting extra land here is really good. So we could play Lukka next time if we want to. Mono white has Wanderer, we have to consider that. That is a Wanderer attack here. The only way you would attack here is if you have Wanderer. So we know that now. So we're not gonna attack here. Because if they don't want to play anything, so be my guests. Because I know they have Wanderer, I don't want to lose a creature here. Play it. Oh, surprise, I knew what they have on hand. Fine. Take the draw. Our goal is not Wanderer. Elspeth is a bit annoying. But with Lukka we can deal with the entire board right now. They need a removal. Ossification, I would assume. Ossification here. And it is a shield counter, which is quite annoying. You have to take away Lukka, yeah. I just want to say, if you don't take away Lukka, the shield counter is quite annoying. They will not block. We get a 5/5 here with trample, which is really nice. Gonna make sure she goes away. Gonna keep the trample alive. Yeah, I think we're going like this. Probably better. Because I take the trade here. Elspeth is a bit more dangerous here than the Wanderer. Sure, the Wanderer can make tokens, but if they have a board wipe here, it's gonna be bad. That's a board wipe. Yeah, so we keep a 2/2, I'm assuming. Which gets stronger though. So the token is a bit annoying. So we have to do it a bit different. A bit of an awkward way to do it, but it's a way to deal with their cards now. Yeah. So we can do 5 damage now divided, right? So we do 2 here. This. 2 here, 1 here, 2 here. So yeah, this was definitely the best way. Dealt with 2 Planeswalker. Get the Planeswalker back ourselves. Another Planeswalker, okay. Still have a huge... We still have a 9 damage on board. Potentially even more if you buff it. Okay. That's not cool. Hmm. That's not cool. I have to make them use the card. They're on 6 and we have lots of haste creatures. A dragon is lethal, for example, now. So we have to go face. Yeah. One damage here. That's not a bad card. Would put them on 2, but I can play the Wanderer. But we still have to go for it. Put them on 1, actually. So if they play Wanderer, they get 2 life here. Oh, they get 5 life. That's a dangerous one. And we found a land. Oof, that's the worst. Now I think we lose. That was impressive. That was impressive. It is what it is. Wander on hand, find another land, good game. I mean, all we had to do is find another land, and we managed to draw 3 in a row there. Game. That's close.